So we've been doing a lot in Excel. I'm getting used to using all of the new Jedox features in addition to what I'm used to with Excel, but in the future I would like to work with the Jedox web front more often. Can you go back to that report we made before? Yeah, so this was still from our proof of concept database.
Right.
And I want to be able to see and do my budgeting in this, whereas here, this was what we had done before. Yeah, and since this is the report, since we want to edit it, we go to the report designer.
Correct. So I see you have a lot of requests here,
Yeah.
right? So this is from our proof of concept definition here, where we work with the database. And in the meantime, we have our productive database in place, where we uploaded your data in various scenarios. And now you want to do the planning also in web. So I prepared here everything. So the sales report is on our POC database. Sales report 2 is just a copy. And the only things I changed that we really are looking not at the proof of concept database, we are looking at our productive database. So this is prepared, and now you said you would like to do budgeting also in web. So our first version, we were able to analyze the actual data. Sure. We can type it. We can type budget here.
But then I would need to take care of several reports.
Correct.
That's a little too much work.
Exactly. So then you have to save it as budget and actual version. You have two workbooks here you have to maintain. Would be much nicer if you can use also a combo box here. So we are going to delete actual here because I would like to replace with the tools form elements combo box. We call this CMB versions. Yeah, we are looking
version
onto
dimension.
Correct. And with a subset, I'm going to hook into my Acme Data Online database now, and I'm looking for the version dimension. And now we want to switch between actual and budget, but we have more possibilities. We can also analyze the variance and the forecast.
Yeah, someone else can work on forecasting then,
Correct.
things like that.
Exactly. So we hit OK. We have defined our CMB versions, and there we are. The combo box is available. So one of your requests I built in already, so you can switch between actual and budget.
Yeah, but now my numbers are missing, and so you need to change the payload data formula, right?
Okay,
or
so
add the formula back in this
The
case.
interesting part, right?
Yeah, want my data.
Right. So as we remember, we created this Palo Data C in one of our lessons with cell reference to A5, where we had our actual hard-coded written. Now we don't have this cell feeded anymore, so it's empty. But maybe you remember the combo box has a target. So we can go to edit, and we see that the target is a named range. So CMB versions, the combo box name, is the named range. So we can go here to our Palo Data formula, and we can say instead of referencing to an empty cell, we are referencing to CMB versions, and there we are. So we can now switch between actual and budget here very easily. Don't believe the values you see right now in this design preview, right? So because we need more, we need at least a user mode where we can see all the data. So we can now switch between actual and budget. And as our combo box is set to 2019 Q1, you see we don't have actual right now in this year, sure, but you see your budget we did in Excel because it's centralized, stored.
Okay, yeah, that's great. That really kind of brings it home with the whole central database, and also how the different front ends are just different front ends. If I prefer to work in Excel or my colleague prefers web, that's all fine. We can choose what we want. But I would also like to be able to input data, again, if things are being changed, since someone might still be working on the budget.
So you don't want to analyze only, you also want to enter data across the web. Okay, so your feature list is getting longer. But even this we can solve. So right now you are not able, let's switch back here. Right now you're not able to enter data. It's closed, so I can click on this, no chance. If I close this now and I would like to enable data entry on this particular cell, I actually only have to do an unlock of the cell. So maybe you know from Excel directly, each cell has properties. So in this case, it's the formatting properties of a cell. When you go to the right mouse context menu, format cells, it looks familiar, like it looks like Excel, and there's a protection tab. And by default, it's the same setting we have in Excel workbooks. The cell is locked. So when we unlock the cell can be used as a write back, or it's open then, it's unlocked in our report. Because in JEDOX Web, this is heavily used. This little checkbox can also be driven directly by this little unlock lock icon here, directly in the tool, in the icon bar. So when I hit OK, let me highlight this again. Now you see it's unlocked and the other cell is locked. And let me save this. And to make it more real, we can also do a quick publish again, and we publish this as sales report Acme 2. So we publish this here, and then we go to our reports. And now your colleagues have the non-write back on proof of concept database, and the second one is now on our budget or on our productive database. And now you see I'm in 2019 budget. This is the budget data we entered before, and now there's a little icon here.
Yeah, and so that I guess means that data entry is enabled.
Correct, because I can click on this. You see the difference? There's the cell is highlighted.
Okay, but to really show me, could you splash some data on one of those cells so I
Okay,
can see
you really
how
want to know?
Yeah, I want to be really sure before I use this.
So let's say we have 7.3 million currently planned for 2019-03, and we would like to have a new value like 10 million, right? So you remember hashtag 10M, enter, and there we go.
Okay, yeah, and I see it in the graph too.
Correct, yeah. So it looks very good, and it's a centralized database. You can do it from Excel, from web. The only thing you have to care about is unlock or lock the cell.
Okay, yeah, we've gone through a lot this time, but I feel like I'm a lot further. I feel a lot more comfortable with reporting, and I think we've earned a coffee break.
Okay, yeah, let's do a coffee break.